Good morning, class. This is Harimohan Pandey, and in this session, I will be covering constructor and destructor part 3. And in the previous section, previous classes, we completed the basic definition of constructor, features of constructor, types of constructor, and then in the previous class, in the yesterday's class, we had a discussion on copy constructor and the situation where we can apply the concept of copy constructor, and then finally we discussed some of the example and we analyzed those examples. In this session, we are going to discuss three main concepts. First one is dynamic initialization of constructor. The second one is dynamic constructor, and the last topic which we will discuss is destructor. So before proceeding, let's have a quick look on the learning outcome of this session. At the end of the session, it is expected that you must know these four points. First one is at the end of the session, you will be in a position to implement and define the concept of what we call as dynamic initialization of objects. So how to initialize and how to utilize the feature of dynamic initialization of object, we will discuss. And at the end of the session, if anybody will ask to you what is the meaning of dynamic initialization, you will be in a position to define and implement. After that, we will discuss dynamic constructor. So here we will talk on, we will discuss the keyword new and its feature in order to construct an object dynamically. And then we will discuss the structure and its feature. And at the end of the session, I will cover some of the example, and we'll try to incorporate these concepts such as dynamic initialization, dynamic constructor, and destructor to make you understand, and the implementation of the program will help you in writing the response for the assignment which I will be uploading by today or by tomorrow. And at the same time, my plan is to upload multiple choice questions. So after completing the lecture, video lecture, if you are interested in checking your understanding about the lecture, then you can go for the multiple choice questions, which will assess your understanding for these topics. So we'll have a quick recap of what we have done, although I have already covered these points. So in earlier classes for constructor and destructor, we had a discussion on constructor and its features. We discussed the default constructor, we discussed the parameterized constructor, we discussed the copy constructor, we had a discussion on implicit and explicit call of constructor. And as I said, the aim of this session is to discuss and understand dynamic initialization of objects. So what is the meaning of dynamic initialization? And there is a term, the first word says dynamic. So what is the meaning of dynamic? Actually, whenever we execute, or if we are using a system, then we can utilize the memory there are two types of memory. One is dynamic memory and another one is static memory, or the memory where we store the data for the future is called as static memory and or secondary memory. But during the execution of the program, if a programmer want to allocate the space into RAM, so in such situation, there is a need of dynamic initialization, or if a programmer is occupying the space in RAM, so in such situation, we will say such concept as dynamic allocation of memory. And as far as C++ programming is concerned, like in C language, we use malloc calloc function for dynamic allocation. In the similar fashion, C++ supports the concept of dynamic initialization of object. So what we are doing, we are assigning the value at the execution of the program on the output screen. So that is why the point is given here. Dynamic initialization of object simply means assigning the values to the data member. So whatever data member we are declaring inside the class, if we want to assign the value at the address of that particular data member during the execution of the program, then there is a need of dynamic initialization of the object. So here I have given one program, and during the explanation of the program, I will cover the concept of dynamic initialization of object in detail. So here you can see there is a class given. The name of the class is iPod, and in this class, I have listed two data member. One is price, another one is capacity. Both the variable, these data members are of integer type, and these data members are given in the private section of the class. And what we want to do, we are interested in accepting the value for price as well as capacity at the execution of the program. So there is a need of dynamic initialization, because we want to occupy the space in the RAM during the execution of the program. So as I said, C++ supports calloc malloc function. So here we will do the same with the help of dynamic initialization. So thereafter I have given public section, and in the public section there is a, default constructor given, iPod, and in this constructor we are passing two statement for accepting the value for price and capacity. So here you can see cout statement is given to flash this message, enter the price of iPod, and we are accepting the value of our price. So whatever value user will set for the price, it will go at the address of price over here, and similarly for capacity. Thereafter, there is a function given, display. The return type is void, and this display function, the purpose of this display function is to display the value of price and the capacity. So whatever value a programmer or user is providing for the price and the capacity, it will get displayed. And in the main function, programmer is in the main function, we are declaring an object for import class IPL, and then we are simply displaying the value for price as well as capacity. So that is why this type of output we are getting. So enter the price of iPod. So as soon as this method will get called, it will go to this function, and from here the control will move to this constructor, and it will accept the value for price as well as the capacity, and it will get the value of price, and the price and the capacity will get displayed, which you can see in the output section of this slide. Now we will discuss dynamic constructor. So the previous concept is dynamic initialization, which says that if a programmer or user want to accept the value at the time of execution of the program, then such concept can be called as dynamic initialization of object. Now this concept of dynamic constructor says that the same concept will be same, because the word dynamic is given as a prefix to the constructor. So again, we are interested in occupying this space in the primary memory. So the question is how we can achieve this. So in order to achieve this concept, we will utilize the feature of new, and using new will initialize the object dynamically. So in order to make the concept more clear, I have given one example here. The name of the class which is listed in this slide is dynamic array, and the purpose of this program is to sort the element of the array, and we are interested in accepting the value of size dynamically, and we are interested in accepting the value of this size as from the programmer, or we can even initialize in the main function. But here in public section we have given one constructor. Here is the constructor. So as soon as this method will get called, we will get the size for this data member PTR. This PTR is of pointer type, and it is given in the private section of the class, and the size. And for size, we are at the address of size, we are assigning the value of s. This s will come from this constructor. Thereafter, we have given three method. One is input. The purpose of this input function is to accept the input element. Then sort, we will utilize this method in order to sort the data member in ascending or descending order. And finally, we want to display. So we want to display the elements which will accept and sort. So in order to display the element, we will use this void show method. The definition of, or we can say that working style of these functions are given outside the class. So therefore, that is why we have used scope resolution operator. So input, we want to access this input method is given in the class dynamic array. So we are accessing input with the help of scope resolution operator. So int I, for loop we are using till the size, we will accept the element, and then C in PTRI. So suppose size is 5, then I will start from 0 and till 5. So 0 to 4 it will run, and thereafter as soon as the condition will be false, the loop will stop working, and control will move out from this function. Then there is a function given short. Here you can see this concept called as swapping, and this red color text is shown to write the statement for for arranging the element, which arranging the element or arranging the data which we will accept as an input. And finally, we have given a method show to display all the element which we will accept in a sorted manner. Then in the main function, we are accepting the size as. So here you can see this is parameterized constructor. We are accepting one parameter in this constructor. So size is 5. So s is 5. So this 5 will go at the address of size. So it will create array of size 5. Then we are accepting the input. So input we are accepting, you can see in the output here. So at the address of 0, array 0, element is 12, array 1 at location 1, element is 56, location 2, element is 3, at the location 3, element is 90, and at the location of 4, element is 10. These elements are not in a sorted manner. We are interested in arranging these item in a increasing order. So we will first display. So here you can see in the display, so in the show function, we are simply displaying the element in the same order we are as we are accepting, and then we are calling sort method. So control will move in this function, and it will arrange all the element in increasing order, and then we are again displaying the sorted array with the help of this show function. So here you can see we have utilized new in order to create in order to initialize the object, and to create the object, to construct the object, and that is why we call this concept as a dynamic constructor. So we are uh, occupying the space in the memory with the help of new during the execution of the program. So that is why we call this concept as a dynamic constructor. Now the last topic of today's discussion is destructor. So as the name is destructor, so it will destroy the object which we will initialize or we will construct with by utilizing the feature of constructor. And it is also a member function, just like constructor. It also keeps the same name as the class name. Only the difference is there will be a prefix of tilde symbol before the name of the destructor. And as I already explained, the purpose is to destroy the object if the object is no longer in use, or it is it goes out of the scope of the program or the class. Then in such situation we will utilize this feature of destructor in order to destroy the object. And here I have listed one example to make the concept clear. So the name of the class is demo, and here there is a constructor. The purpose of this constructor is simply the purpose of this constructor is to simply display the message constructor called, and here the red color text shows the destructor. Red color text shows the destructor, and it is preceded by tilde symbol. So here this destructor, as soon as this destructor will get called, it will display the message destructor called, and in the main function we are simply declaring an object D. So as soon as control will get this message of demo D, it will move in the body of the constructor. Then D will get created, constructed, and since thereafter we are calling this destructor, so it will get destroyed. So we are getting this type of output, constructor called, destructor called. Here I have listed some of the feature of destructor, and it is very similar to constructor. Only the difference is constructor can be utilized to construct the object, and destructor will be used in order to destroy the object if the object is no longer in use or goes out of the scope. Now, I have given the conclusion for this session. So, in this session, we discussed the dynamic initialization of object. We discussed one example for dynamic initialization of object. The role of dynamic initialization is if a programmer interested in occupying the space in the primary memory, that is in RAM, at the execution of the program for accepting the value from the keyboard, then in such situation, dynamic initialization of object can be utilized. The second concept of this session we discussed was dynamic constructor, and in order to achieve the concept of dynamic constructor, we can utilize the feature of new. So using new, we can create dynamic constructor. And the last topic of today's discussion was the destructor, and we discussed some of the feature of destructor. Destructor has the same name as the class name, and there will be a prefix of tilde symbol for destructor, and the role of destructor is to destroy the object which a programmer has created. It will get called as soon as the control goes or the object goes out of the scope of the program or no longer in use. Again, I have given some remark. So for the video lecture, for the assignment, for the study material, for the multiple choice questions, you can visit this web, which is iuce.imports.com. And if you have any query, you can post your query just after the video lecture. You will get one section which is called as discussion section. So there you can write your queries. As soon as I will see, I will respond you back. And if you want to discuss on any topic, you can drop a mail also on my email ID, which is listed there. Thank you very much.